My name is Jen, and this is Claire, and we're from Costa Mesa, California.
My name is Will Houston, and I'm from Manhattan Beach, California.
My name is Beckett Williams, and I'm from Newport Beach, California.
When I was a couple months old, I started ballooning in size. My mom noticed that I tasted really salty, so she advocated for me to get tested for CF, and I was diagnosed at 4 months old.
Claire was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis when she was just 1 month old.
My parents found out when I was like a week old that I had cystic fibrosis.
We get up very early every morning so that we can do Claire's morning breathing treatment. So on school days, that means we usually get up around 6 a.m. in order to do her 30-minute treatment where she wears her vest, which is a device that has a little garment that goes over her and buckles and connects to 2 hoses that bring in air, and basically it makes it vibrate so that it breaks up the mucus in her lungs, because cystic fibrosis is typically characterized by very thick mucus in the lungs, which can lead to bacterial infection.
In a normal day, I'll wake up about 5 in the morning and start my vest treatments, which will take about 45 minutes with setup, and then I'll head to the office, get in the gym for an hour, and then start breakfast. That'll take 15-20 minutes just to get all my pills together. The pancreatic enzymes help me actually absorb the nutrients in my food, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to digest and absorb everything that I need to survive.
When I first wake up, I'd probably just start my therapy right away, put my mask and vest on, and do the medicines like albuterol, saline, and pulmozyme, and then just have it done within 45 minutes. And to pass the time, I'd probably play video games or watch TV.
It's really difficult with a child this age because they want to be running around. And so we have to think of activities to keep her occupied, such as coloring or reading books. And then she goes to school or about her day. And then we have a second breathing treatment that she does, again, for 30 minutes with 2 different medications.
I also do sports like baseball and basketball, and how the exercise is really well, especially if you have CF, because it works out your lungs. It kind of gets them going. In baseball, my favorite position is probably pitcher, but I also play in center field and third base. Third base is just like my papa. He played in the major leagues there, so I find it runs through my blood.
While I have the vest on, I usually pass the time by watching TV or checking emails, reading stuff on my computer. Sometimes it gets a little more adventurous depending on what I'm up to that day. I've done stuff like fishing while doing the vest. I've driven while doing the vest, all sorts of different stuff.
We also really try to get her physical activity whenever possible that kind of mimics the vest. So we do things like take her to the park and ride the seesaw with her brother. She also tried surfing this summer for the first time. So she did 2 weeks of surf camp. She's super active. She does ballet and gymnastics on the trampoline. So we try to incorporate physical activity for her because we also know that's super beneficial for people living with cystic fibrosis.
Part of the reason I live in Manhattan Beach is because of the proximity to the water. I do think that the salty air makes a huge difference for me, whether it's going on runs or surfing or just swimming, hanging out with my friends. One of my other things I love to do is fish, which, you're not in the water, but always around the salt air, and it makes a tangible difference in my health. I'm always a lot healthier at the end of the summer. And then in the winter, one of the things I do to stay active is I snowboard a lot. So I'll go up to Mammoth 5-6 times a year and snowboard, and that's kind of my winter way to stay active.
Dealing with CF has gotten more annoying as I've been getting older, because it's kind of getting in the way of my social life and hanging with friends.
Something particularly challenging about living with a child with cystic fibrosis is the amount of planning and how detail-oriented you have to be all the time. You always have to be on top of your game. We can't just run through the drive-thru like other families. We have to make sure that we have enzymes so she can eat. If the kids have sports practices or something, we have to make sure that we build our breathing treatments in. So we really build our day around her treatments and her care regimen.
When I was a kid growing up, I really didn't think about how much different my life was going to be than any of my friends. Once I got into high school, I started getting sick more often and had a couple instances that made me realize maybe things were gonna go differently.
I am eternally grateful that Claire gets to live the life she lives and gets to do normal kid activities like go to school and go to the beach, thanks to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
I'm really appreciative and really do love the CF Foundation, and will definitely still be involved until CF stands for Cure Found.
I'm going to continue fighting until CF stands for Cure Found.
Our family is committed to stay in this fight until CF stands for Cure Found.